I'd like to welcome South Carolina. Starting on my far left, we are joined by Kaela Davis, followed by Asia Wilson, and head coach Dawn Staley. Congratulations, coach, and why don't you start us off with the opening statement, please?
Just want to say it was a great atmosphere. We beat a tremendous basketball team in Mississippi State Bulldogs, and I thought, it could have gone either way, but I just, felt like our players, when it was time to step up, stepped up in a big way to, to get us this victory, and it's in an incredible atmosphere.
All right, questions for the student athletes, please.
Alex Love, CareerToday.com. This is for Asia Wilson. What I wanted to ask is, once again, you played real big in defense with the defensive rebounds down in the paint. So just talk about, especially in that fourth quarter when it mattered the most, how was it getting done out there and the speed of keeping up with your teammates?
Just during the timeout, Coach kind of Coach pointed at her chest, and she was like, it means heart. And I think that's what it came down to. We have great talent out there on both teams, but really in a championship game, it really comes down to who wants it more. And I think it's just we came out with a lot of heart and energy.
Let's go with second row, or third row, sorry.
David Connor here with this day. Agent, with that fourth quarter, you're down 5. What did you guys talk about in the huddle? Were you starting to demand the ball, or was the game plan get it to you and let you do what you do?
I don't think that was the game plan necessarily. We just kind of stuck to our system, and we didn't really let up. We didn't really doubt ourselves, and we just made sure that we just had good support around us, and we really just came out, like I said, with a lot of heart. And we just knew that we have to trust the process, trust it all, and trust each other for the biggest thing.
On the far right.
Joel Fitzpatrick, Spartanburg Herald. This question is for Kaela. Your point total increased with each game. Just tell me about how your confidence soared from game to game.
I think the stakes got a little bit higher with each game as well. So I think that's just part of it. Obviously the competition, it increases as you get deeper and deeper into any tournament. So you just got to be ready to play. With layout, we got to kind of compensate for that and fill that hole.
Michelle Rocco, ESPN.com. Kaela, you guys are down going into the fourth quarter, and you hit that 3 right away. It seemed like the entire momentum of the game switched in the fourth quarter. What was your viewpoint on what happened? I think you guys went on an 8-0 run there and took control of the game.
Yeah. I don't know. I think my biggest thing is I got a stupid third foul, and they've been taking charges all game. So I was just made sure I was ready to go back in and make an impact. So glad, that turned into an 8-point swing, and we could kind of get the momentum shifted our way.
Dick Cox with Cox Sports Broadcasting. This is for both players. The crowd really got into the game in the fourth quarter. It seemed like your defense fed off the crowd. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, we have amazing fans. They're really loyal, and they really help us out. They're kind of that sixth man out there. And just to hear them roaring and our ears ringing, it really does kind of get your blood flowing and just kind of getting you into the rhythm of defense. So we give it all to them.
Kyle Heck.
No, sorry, who said something? Go ahead. I was
Kaela, do you have something to add to that?
No, not at all. I was going to say the same thing, actually.
Thanks. Go ahead.
Kyle Heck with Spurs and Feathers. Kaela, some of these other guys have been through this before, but for you, what did it feel like to get out there on the court with all the confetti and just celebrating the championship?
It's amazing. There's really no feeling like it. To know that we've been faced with a lot of adversity this year, and to know that just throughout conference play we've had to deal with a lot, but we found a way to just fight through it and be better because of it. It's like I said, there's no feeling, you can't match it.
Pete Yacovelli, Associated Press for Asia and Kaela. Does this win and the way you guys have played recently just mark you guys as a team to be reckoned with in the NCAA tournament?
Yeah, most definitely. I think we really showed ourselves. I think we showed a good picture of what we do and how we are here at South Carolina. So yes, I do.
David Connor, Kaela, it seems like ever since the Missouri game, you've gotten a lot more confident in your game. You're feeling really good, taking good set shots. Just how much does that game impact your thinking, or does it as you're preparing for each game going forward?
Sure. I hate to lose. That's no one likes losing. So I think in my head personally, I knew I didn't want to feel that again. And I shot the ball horribly at Missouri. So that was just something that, like I said, you know, I stuck that in the back of my head and just tried to carry it with me.
Michelle?
Yeah, Asia, if my history's right,
Yeah.
you're only the second program to win 3 SEC tournaments in a row. Tennessee has done it twice. I know part of what you've done here is sort of historical. You've wanted to make that mark. What does this particular, accomplishment mean to win 3 SEC tournaments in a row?
It means a lot. It really does. I mean, when you look at it, Tennessee was the powerhouse of the SEC. And just to really see how Coach Staley and her coaching staff really turned this program around, it really does mean a lot. And just to be a part of it, and just being a part of just the legacy that we're going to leave when we leave here, it just really means a lot.
Paul Martin, Herald Journal. This question's for Asia. You were matched up most of the game against McCowan. That was a battle the whole game. What happened to turn in the fourth quarter? You seemed to get an edge there.
That was a battle, correct. I ain't felt nothing like that in a while. But, I mean, she's a great player. She really is. She really kind of gave me a different look that I haven't really seen throughout the tournament. So it was kind of difficult to kind of get around her because she's big. I mean, she's right up there with me. But my teammates kept feeding me the ball, and I just kind of found a way.
In the back.
Dick Cox, Cox Sports Broadcasting. I'm gonna let you get drink water, but this question's for Asia also. What does it mean to you to get to win a SEC championship in your home state of South Carolina?
I can't even put that into words. It means a lot. Just from the day that I committed to South Carolina, I knew it's going to be something special. But just to go, just the way that everything's turning out, it really does mean a lot. And the fact that I'm kind of home, it means just, I can't even put into words how amazing this feeling, it really is.
Any more questions for the student athletes? Okay, right up here in front.
Alex Love, RearsDay.com. This question is for both the athletes. You guys don't really have a lot of people leaving, so I know you still have a lot of the season left with the NCAA. But just in terms of competing in the SEC, how do you think you guys can grow from here in the following season and just pulling together?
Kaela, can you start us out, please?
Sure. Yeah, I mean, like you said, I think right now we're focused on just, like you said, the tournament. That's our biggest focus and getting prepared for that. And part of that's just kind of taking the momentum of, the tournament with us. But all year, this whole year we've been saying it's a process, and we're trying to figure it out and, where shots are coming from and how certain things are going to happen. And I think it's all coming together at the right time. So, like I said, we're trying to keep that train rolling.
Asia, do you have anything to add?
No, ma'am.
Any more questions for the student athletes? All right. Thank you, ladies.
Thank y'all.
Congratulations. All right, questions for the head coach.
David Clowney here with the state. Dawn, how much of a focus was it to target Asia in the fourth quarter and to try to get her the ball?
Well, she was a target because we felt like she would be able to take the big girl Tiara McCowan off the bounce. But she's big, and I thought Asia sometimes settled for little mid-range jumpers. But when she was able to get inside and go off the bounce, good things happened. But then when we couldn't get that and we played off of that, I thought we just did a great job in moving the ball and scoring when the play was broken. Kaela got a 3. Ty got a wide open 3. Alicia knocked down a shot. So we were pretty good at playing off of not getting our first option. And a lot of times in these settings and moving forward, people are going to take your first and second options away. You got to be organized when those plays break down to get good shots.
Front row.
Coach, when I interviewed you over the summer on ESPN Upstate, the biggest thing we were happy about is the tournament in Greenville. But now you sit here as the champions. So although each championship is big, does this one particular make you any more special with the thousands of fans here to support you and how much the momentum built up?
Well, I think it's only fitting. We have the best fans in the country. They come out and support us at home and on the road, and to put it in a place in which they can drive up and come, and they showed out. I mean, they created an atmosphere like they do in our in our home arena, Colonial Life Arena. And when you can, pile in the fans here and create that experience, not only for our team, but just, I mean, it looks good on TV. It looks, I think Mississippi State wouldn't mind playing in this kind of environment versus an empty gym. And I think it's just, overall, I think it was a great experience by us all. Obviously, we're a little biased because they came to support our basketball team, but they do have a really good appreciation for good basketball.
Over here on the right.
Coach, it's 50-49, and Ty hits the three, and Mississippi State doesn't score again. Just talk about how big that bucket was.
It was huge. It was she had her feet under her. She knew she was going to take the shot. It felt good to her. When she released it, she knew it was going in. And I think the momentum, the crowd got into it. It helped us just gain some valuable energy that we needed to finish the game off.
Dawn, Gene Sapica from Charleston. Having to be a little resourceful against a really good team like that, do you think that kind of experience for your players will help down the line in NCAA tournament?
Not having Elena Coates, makes you do a lot of different things. You have to make adjustments because she's a huge void left. Not just this year, she's been a mainstay for us for the past 4 years. She's been a big part of our program. But our players are truly resilient. They want to do anything they can do to help our team win. And that's growth that's taken, place over the entire year, because some of them, wasn't comfortable playing other positions. Some of them just wanted to really concentrate on doing one position well. But now that they see that we're in an adverse situation, they're opening their minds and their skill sets up, to play in other positions, and we're finding that, it's good basketball for us.
David Cloninger, the state. Dawn, with all the success of the past 4 years, how much do you still think about your first year at USC and the struggle that you had early before you could get to this point?
I'm driven by those first few years being at South Carolina. It's the thing that fuels me every single day because they didn't feel good. And, although winning, it does feel good, but you do have to look back on where this program has come from and use those days to make you continue to work and not go back, not go backwards. And, just truly proud of, our coaching staff, our support staff, our players, our fans, our administrators. Everybody's been a big part of allowing us to be successful.
How much do you think the way you guys have played since UConn down the stretch here has kind of reinforced the thought that you guys are a threat in the NCAA tournament? Do you feel like, you guys can be out there with just about anything?
Well, I feel like we can be out there. I don't know if, the basketball experts feel like that because, we're not one of the programs that they talk about when it comes to competing for a national championship, nor our players talked about in a national spotlight. Asia Wilson is the best player in the country. Let's just get that out there. She is the best player in the country. If you look at her numbers when we're playing ranked teams, I don't think any numbers compare to what she does. We're going to keep flying under the radar. We're going to keep getting better. We're going to keep making the most of the opportunities that we have, and wherever we're sent, we're going to continue to play and use the experiences of playing in the SEC to our advantage.
Dick Cox from Cox Sports Broadcasting. Dawn, talk a little bit about defensively holding the team to Mississippi State to only 4 points in the fourth quarter, but even better than that, they didn't even attempt a free throw in the fourth quarter, playing good defense.
Well, I think that one of the last timeouts that we had, I think that the fourth quarter timeout, I told our players we need to just play. We need to make adjustments to the officiating, and it's not to say they're bad or anything. If they're going to call a certain way, then we must correct what we're doing. So we're going to play We're gonna play, proper defense. We're gonna slide over when we need to slide over, help each other out. We're gonna communicate. We're gonna play with our hearts and our heads. And I just thought they took that to heart, and they executed out there on the floor, and they held a team that can score a lot of points in bunches to I don't know if that's a season low, but it's got to be close to a season low, especially with the type of players that they have.
Any more questions for the head coach? One up here in front.
Coach, looking at some of the previous records, your last 5 meetings against Mississippi State were all victories, and your record against them is 9-3. Did that previous success build up to the confidence that you had going into this game, or was it more just starting from like this would have been the first game?
What took place even in I think it was January, didn't enter into our minds as far as us winning. A lot of people put a question mark on that win, with calls late down the stretch. But we knew coming into this game is going to be a knockout drag-out. We knew that they were fighting to get their program's first championship in any women's program. We know that they are a very good basketball team, very seasoned. They played well. They played together and well all season long. And for the past couple of years, they got a nice, experienced group. So we knew that, coming into this game, we were going to have to give a 40-minute effort. We were going to have to execute on both sides of the ball. We were probably going to have to beat them at a low-scoring game because they defend well, and we needed to do certain things. I was proud of our effort. I look at the stat sheet, and we were down in rebounding the whole night, and then we end up beating them in rebounding. So, it's kudos to our players who barreled down and got the win.
Anything else? All right, thank you, Coach.
Thank you.